First one is Sun Communities buying Park Holidays. Sun Communities is they have marinas, they have RV parks, they have manufactured homes. It's a REIT that a lot of us real estate investing fools like and see some like long-term demographic trends on. What this deal gives them is it's $1.3 billion deal for Park Holidays, which has holiday communities in the UK, especially in kind of seaside areas. So, give Sun Communities a chance to go international. So, interesting deal for them. Also, the fact that the company that the locations are in seaside. Sun Communities, I think, has is really sort of starting to move into marinas. It's a relatively large deal, and it gives them that international exposure. You guys have any thoughts on this one?
I love Sun Communities business. I love the markets they're in. It's a very tough REIT to value. And the reason I say that is because it's essentially a ground lease play. Other than the marinas, they're the mobile home communities and things like that. They essentially lease the ground, and the homeowner owns the home. And the ground leases are, if you're not familiar, a ground lease is usually like a 30-year lease. So real estate prices have gone through the roof, especially in some of their markets. They're up, 30% in the past year, but the rent they're getting isn't reflected that because these tenants are on leases that started 10, 20 years ago. So on the surface, it looks like this is trading at a crazy valuation multiple, but it's just really tough to value like what their land is worth right now, what they could get on the open market right now for it if they were to release all of it. It's a really frustrating REIT to try to value, I can tell you firsthand. But I do love this deal. I love that they're moving into marinas. I think that's a really untapped type of real estate. I can't name another REIT that has any type of focus in the marina business.
I'm literally writing down for Fool.com content, investing in marinas as a topic, because that is super interesting. It's just one of those. Go ahead, sorry.
From the real estate point of view, I think that list is one name long.
No, but more about what is it about? How do you get involved? Like why? What would prompt one to want to invest in marinas? We've done content before on like investing in golf courses, investing in gas stations. It just kind of shows real estate is really everywhere. So it's very interesting when things like this come out.
It's a really interesting type of lease because you're not even leasing land. It's really tough to
leasing the water.
Yeah, you're leasing water. If you're leasing, say, a 40-foot boat slip, it's like a few feet of decking is really what you're leasing. The right to use like the decking that you could pull up to. It's a really interesting type of lease, and I have to imagine if you're good at it, the economics could be really favorable there.
Well, I feel like with less space, I mean, maybe I'm speaking too soon, but I feel like less could go wrong, but maybe marinas would be more subject to like natural disasters than other, types of real estate.
Well, I think a lot of the marinas are, some of them are long-term leases, but some of them are also short-term leases for people that are traveling and docking their boats and things like that. And the RV and boat boom that happened during the pandemic has been kind of a fascinating trend. I mean, who knows how long that's going to last, but that certainly became something where people could not find boats and RVs to buy. Used RVs, used boats kind of went through the roof. And I like to think that some of that exploration of nature and outdoor activities is going to continue. And I think the other factor too is that is the retirement aspect. And I think that's what makes Sun Communities interesting as well. They've got a lot of exposure in some of the in warm weather areas, so they're betting on that trend as well, that older people, that we're going to get the snowbirds going to warm weather locations.
It's really, I think, a good demographic play because of what you mentioned with that, and also just how mobile we are. Because you can RV and still work, and so there's just so much where they have the opportunity to grow because of that. And there is it's the Sunbelt migration too, and that's what just makes it so interesting. They're doing so many interesting things. These are really good businesses. and they're executing well. They've been one of the best performing REITs. So it's just an interesting name. And if you like really cool, different kind of real estate, they're pretty much the only ones where you can get into all these things like holiday parks in the UK, marinas, RVs. It just gives you a different exposure to real estate. And like the mobile home parks alone, I know Sam Zell, they have Equity Lifestyle, which is a competitor, and he's mentioned, before that this is one of the best businesses to have because it's so resistant to economic disruption. Like the rental rates don't go down when there's a recession. And so that's one of the reasons why Sun Communities has done so well, is it's just a very good economic business. So it's a name that I'm very interested in. I think it's just a cool business.